Hi children, this is Chandrasekhar, Zoology faculty from Sri Chaitanya. Welcome to the Sri Chaitanya's NEET Sankalp 2.0, a program which is designed to keep your preparation focused, disciplined, uninterrupted, no matter the challenges. Every setback is an opportunity to come back stronger. So, let's start our program with confidence. Today, I am here to give you a quick and in-detail revision of the chapter Animal Kingdom from 11th class NCERT Biology. So, let us discuss about this chapter. Regarding Animal Kingdom, the animals are multicellular, they show holozoic nutrition and they are generally heterotrophic in nature. And though all animals belongs to the kingdom Animalia, but there are differences among themselves. So, that is said to be, they are classified into different categories. And what are the contents that makes the basis of classification of kingdom Animalia? So, the classification helps in assigning a systematic position to newly described species, and which factors will act as basis of classification. See, the arrangement of cells, body symmetry, nature of coelom, patterns of digestive, circulatory or reproductive systems are used as the basis of animal classification. The first topic under the basis of classification is levels of organization. There are 4 basic levels of organization in kingdom Animalia: cellular level, tissue level, organ level and organ system level. The first one is cellular level. Under this, the body consists of many cells. Division of labor occur among the cells and cells are said to be cellular aggregates. The phylum showing this kind of organization is Porifera. Organisms that are coming under Porifera are sponges. Next level is tissue level. The cells that are performing the same function can be grouped to form tissues. Tissue level of organization is there in Cnidaria and Ctenophora. The third level is organ level. The tissues that are performing the same function grouped to form organs. Platyhelminthes is the best example for showing the organ level of organization. Of course, the Platyhelminthes also shows few organ systems. The final level is organ system level. In this level, each system concerned with a specific physiological function. This organ system level is there in Platyhelminthes. It is there from Aschelminthes to Chordata even. And in organ systems, for example, there is a digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, excretory system. These functions are related to these systems are related to a particular physiological function. After basis of classification, let me give you 1 or 2 points related to the organs and organ systems. For example, if you talk about Platyhelminthes, in Platyhelminthes there is incomplete gut. In incomplete gut, there is only one opening called mouth. Mouth is involved in ingestion and also involved in egestion. From Aschelminthes onwards, there is complete gut. That means alimentary canal starts with mouth and ends with anus. In Aschelminthes, and when it comes to a particular organ system, circulatory system, the circulatory system starts from Annelida onwards. There are 2 basic types of circulatory systems. One is open circulatory system, second one is closed circulatory system. When it comes to the open circulatory system, blood is pumped by the heart, no doubt, and blood passes through the cavities of the body known as the sinuses. In open circulatory system, blood vessels present but blood capillaries are absent. Example phyla for open circulatory system are Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata and Hemichordata. When it comes to the closed circulatory system, the blood pumped by the heart will pass through a series of channels like arteries, veins and capillaries. In this closed type of circulatory system, the blood flow is very well regulated. There is no direct contact between blood and body parts, and exchange of materials occur through diffusion at a particular part called capillaries, and capillaries are lined by simple squamous epithelium. Example phyla that are showing closed circulation: Annelida and Chordata. The next topic is symmetry. Geometrical arrangement of body parts is said to be symmetry. Some organisms are symmetrical, some are asymmetrical. Asymmetrical best examples are most of the sponges are asymmetrical. Under the symmetry, there are 2 broad categories are there. One is radial symmetry, second one is bilateral symmetry. What is radial symmetry? In the radial symmetry, any plane that is passing through the principal axis can divide the organism into two equal halves. Example phyla for radial symmetry, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, and Echinoderms also shows this, but adult Echinoderms are radially symmetrical. And a particular type of radial symmetry there in adult Echinoderms is said to be pentamerous radial symmetry. And the next one is bilateral symmetry. In bilateral symmetry, there is an axis called mid-sagittal axis. The plane passing through the mid-sagittal axis can divide the organism into two lateral halves, left lateral half, right lateral half. As two lateral halves are obtained, this is said to be bilateral symmetry. The phyla that are showing bilateral symmetry are Platyhelminthes to Chordata, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca. Embryonic Echinoderms shows bilateral symmetry, then Hemichordata and Chordata. The next concept is diploblastic and triploblastic organization. In diploblastic organization, the body of these organisms consists of two germinal layers. Outer germinal layer is ectoderm, inner one is endoderm. In between, there is an undifferentiated mesoglia is present. The phyla that are showing diploblastic organization are Cnidaria and Ctenophora. When it comes to the triploblastic organization, there are three germinal layers present: ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm, in between ectoderm and endoderm. In triploblastic organization, starting from Platyhelminthes to Chordata, all these phyla shows triploblastic level of organization. Next is related to the body cavity. Regarding body cavity, we can divide the organisms into acoelomates, pseudocoelomates, coelomates. Regarding acoelomates, acoelomate means the organism that is not having coelom. Porifera is not having coelom, Cnidaria is not having coelom, Ctenophora is not having coelom, even Platyhelminthes is also not having coelom. But when it comes to the Platyhelminthes shows a solid body plan without any body cavity. That means between ectoderm and endoderm, there is no cavity. Entire cavity is filled with a solid mesenchymal tissue. So the acoelomate phylum with solid body plan, the best example is Platyhelminthes. The next category is called pseudocoelom. This is a pattern in which body cavity is present but not lined by the mesoderm. The mesoderm is present in the cavity in the form of scattered pouches. This is one definition. The other definition is the mesoderm is present in the body cavity, but it is present only towards the body wall. Towards the gut wall, there is no mesoderm. So this kind of cavity is called pseudocoelom. Pseudocoelom consists of a fluid called pseudocoelomic fluid. Pseudocoelomic fluid acts as shock absorber. The phylum showing the pseudocoelom is Aschelminthes. Commonly known organisms under this are called roundworms. The third category is a coelom. The body cavity is lined by mesoderm in coelomates. The phyla that are showing the coelom: Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, Chordata. But in the coelomates, there are two basic categories: schizocoelomates and enterocoelomates. The coelom that is formed by the splitting of mesoderm is said to be schizocoelom. Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca shows schizocoelom. The coelom that is formed from the pouches of Archenteron is said to be enterocoelom. Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata shows enterocoelom. So the next concept is segmentation. In some animals, the body is externally and internally divided into segments with a serial repetition of at least some organs. The best example for that organism is earthworm. The phyla that are showing segmentation are Annelida and Arthropoda and Chordata. Next one is notochord. Notochord is a solid rod-like structure which is mesodermally derived, located dorsally in organisms. Those organisms are called chordates. Organisms with the notochord are called chordates. Organisms without notochord are called non-chordates. Porifera, echinoderms are non-chordates. Even Hemichordata is also included under non-chordata. Because Hemichordates are not having notochord, they have stomochord. Stomochord is not a notochord. When it comes to the general characters of different phyla, let's begin with the phylum Porifera. Regarding Porifera, the organisms of Porifera are aquatic in nature. They are mostly marine. Few organisms are freshwater in nature. Best example is Spongilla. The name Porifera is derived due to pore-bearing body. And Poriferans, they show cellular level of organization. Symmetry is radially symmetrical. coelom is absent. But these poriferans body organization, if you see, they are having a peculiar system called canal system. In the canal system, there is a water movement in and out. The water enters the body through ostia into a cavity called spongocoel, and it leaves the body through a big aperture called osculum. This canal system, with the movement of water in and out, it is involved in some important functions like food gathering, respiration, and also removal of waste. And in the organization of a body of these sponges, poriferans, there are some specialized cells present called choanocytes, which are also called collar cells. These collar cells can line the spongocoel. The collar cells can also line the canals of the body. The body of poriferans is supported by skeleton. That skeleton is made up of spicules and also made up of spongin fibers. Regarding the reproduction, these organisms, sexes are not separate. That means these are monoecious in nature. They show asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Fertilization is generally internal and development is indirect. The organisms, the examples for the phylum Porifera includes the cycon, common name is Scypha, Spongilla, common name is freshwater sponge, and Euspongia, common name is bath sponge. The next phylum is Coelenterata, also known as Cnidaria. The name Coelenterata because of presence of a cavity called coelenteron. The name Cnidaria because of presence of specialized cells called cnidoblasts on the tentacles. So the cnidoblasts are also cnidocytes present on the tentacles and also on the body. And these cnidoblasts are involved in specialized functions like anchorage, defense, and for the capture of a prey. Cnidarians are also aquatic in nature, mostly marine, few are fresh. Hydra is the example for freshwater cnidarian. Organization is tissue grade, symmetry is radial, coelom is absent. Morphologically, these cnidarians are categorized into two types, polyp forms and medusa forms. Polyps are sessile in nature, they are cylindrical in form and they show asexual reproduction. Adamsia and Hydra are the examples for polyp forms. In medusaid forms, they are umbrellar in shape and motile in nature. They show sexual reproduction. Aurelia, jellyfish is the best example for medusaid forms. Some cnidarians, they are having a calcium carbonate covering that is said to be coral. The best example for that coral is Meandrina. Common name is brain coral. Some cnidarians like Obelia, it has polyp and medusaid forms in its life cycle. The polyp form undergo asexual reproduction and produces medusae. Medusae undergo sexual reproduction and produces polyp forms. This process is called alternation of generations, which is also known as metagenesis. The best example for this is Obelia. These cnidoblasts, they are having a fluid-filled cavity called nematocyst. Nematocyst is also known as a stinging capsule. The examples of this phylum includes Physalia, Portuguese man of war, Adamsia, sea anemone, Penatula, sea pen, Gorgonia, sea fan, and Meandrina, brain coral, along with Hydra and Aurelia. Aurelia, common name is jellyfish. About the digestion in cnidarians, I just want to give you an extra point here. The digestion in cnidarians is both intracellular and extracellular. It occurs within the cells that are lining the gastrovascular cavity, and it also takes place within the gastrovascular cavity. When it takes place in gastrovascular cavity, that is extracellular. When it is occurring in the cells lining the gastrovascular cavity, that is said to be intracellular. And respiration in cnidarians occur through body surface. The next phylum is Ctenophora. The commonly known organisms under Ctenophora are sea walnuts, comb jellies. The name Ctenophora because of a presence of 8 rows of external rows of ciliated comb plates. These comb plates are involved in locomotion. These are exclusively marine. Symmetry is radial. Coelom is absent. When it comes to the organization, these organisms shows tissue level of organization and these are diploblastic in nature. Digestion is both intra and extracellular. Respiration takes place through body surface. And a particular character is very well marked in this group, that is said to be bioluminescence. Bioluminescence is nothing but living light. Regarding the reproduction, here also the sexes are not separate. These organisms shows sexual reproduction. The fertilization is external and development is indirect. Examples includes, and here also I told you both the digestion is both intracellular and extracellular. The examples of this particular phylum includes Pleurobrachia and Ctenophora. The next phylum is Platyhelminthes. The name Platyhelminthes is derived due to its flat body, dorsoventrally compressed body. These organisms are mostly endoparasites, but few are free-living organisms. The example for that is Planaria. Organization is triploblastic and organ level of organization. This phylum also shows organ systems. Symmetry is bilateral, and these are showing the solid body plan between ectoderm and endoderm. The mesoderm, a solid tissue is present, which is also known as mesenchyma. Incomplete gut is present with only mouth. Digestion is extracellular. Respiration occurs through body surface. Regarding the parasitic forms of this particular phylum shows specialized parts called hooks and suckers. They are helping for adhesion of these parasites to the host tissues and will help you to lead the parasitic mode of life. Excretion is performed with the help of flame cells, also called protonephridia. They are simple tubular structures. They are primarily involved in osmoregulation and secondarily involved in excretion. About reproduction, sexes are not separate. These organisms shows sexual and asexual reproduction. Planaria shows asexual reproduction through a process called fragmentation. Regarding the sexual reproduction, the fertilization is internal, development is indirect with many larval stages. Incomplete gut is present in this particular phylum, but if you talk about the organism Taenia solium, tapeworm, the gut is absent in this particular organism. It is involved in the absorption of nutrients from the host organism through its body surface, but gut and mouth are completely absent. The example organisms includes Taenia tapeworm, Fasciola, liver fluke, and also Planaria. This Planaria shows a high power of regeneration, and it shows fragmentation, which is a sexual reproduction. The next phylum is Aschelminthes. Regarding Aschelminthes, the body is circular in cross section, generally known as roundworms. These are also mostly endoparasites both on plants and animals. Few are free living. The example for that is Caenorhabditis elegans. It is not mentioned in animal kingdom, it is mentioned in Human Genome Project chapter. Organization is triploblastic and organ system level. These are pseudocoelomates. Body cavity is present, but it is not lined by mesoderm. Symmetry is bilateral. These organisms shows complete gut, starts with mouth and ends with anus. But entire gut is not muscular, only pharynx is muscular in this particular group. Respiration occurs through body surface. Excretion takes place through excretory canals and pores. When it comes to the reproduction, here the sexes are separate. So this is a male roundworm and this is a female roundworm. In males, the posterior end is curved. They shows a particular aperture called cloaca. On either sides of cloaca, there are a pair of copulatory spicules present. But in females, females are generally longer than males and they don't have cloaca. They have two separate openings like anus and gonopore. Reproduction is sexual, fertilization is internal, development it is direct and indirect. If it is indirect development, there is larva. If it is direct development, there is a stage called juvenile. The example organisms of this particular phylum includes Ascaris roundworm, Eukaryaria filarial worm, Ankylostoma hookworm. The next phylum is Annelida. The name Annelida is derived. Annulus means ring. The body consists of segments. Segments are ring-like. Organization is triploblastic and organ system. Symmetry is bilateral, and these are the first coelomate organisms. Schizocoelom is present. True body cavity, which is said to be schizocoelom here. These organisms are having body wall. The body wall consists of longitudinal and circular muscles. They help in locomotion. The coelom consists of coelomic fluid. Coelomic fluid also helps in locomotion. The coelomic fluid acts as shock absorber. Regarding digestion, complete gut is there. Respiration occurs through moist cuticle. There is an organism called Nereis. Nereis is having lateral appendages called Parapodia. Parapodia are vascular. Parapodia also helps in respiration. Circulation is closed type. When it comes to the excretion in these organisms occur through nephridia. Nephridia involved in both excretion and osmoregulation. So regarding the neural system, in this phylum, the neural system consists of nerve ring and nerve cords. Nerve ring is present around pharynx. Above the pharynx, suprapharyngeal ganglia acts as brain. And nerve cords are double. Nerve cords are ventral. They are solid and ganglionated. Nereis is dioecious, that means sexes separate. Earthworm and Hydrodenaria, leech are monoecious. In Nereis and earthworm, the fertilization is external, whereas in Hydrodenaria, leech, the fertilization is internal. The development of Nereis is indirect. Earthworm and leech shows a direct development. The scientific names of these organisms includes Nereis, scientific name, common name is sandworm. Ferritima, common name is earthworm. And Hydrodenaria, blood-sucking leech. This Hydrodenaria acts as ectoparasite. The next phylum is Arthropoda. Name Arthropoda is derived due to arthro means jointed, poda means legs. We can say jointed appendages. It is the largest phylum which constitutes 80% of the animal kingdom. The organization is triploblastic organ system level. Habitat is cosmopolitan. Next, coelom is present. Symmetry is bilateral. Complete gut is present with mouth and anus. When it comes to the respiration occurs through gills. Example organisms for that are crustaceans. Book gills, example is limulus. Book lungs, scorpion. Trachea, example insects. Circulatory system is open type. Blood flows through body cavities called sinuses. That blood is called hemolymph because there is no difference between blood and lymph here. It is flowing through the body cavities. Excretion takes place through Malpighian tubules in insects, antennary or green glands in crustaceans. When it comes to the neural control, there is nerve ring and nerve cords, but nerve ring is generally present around esophagus. Supraesophageal ganglia is considered as brain. Nerve cords are double, ventral, solid and ganglionated. The sense organs of this particular phylum includes, they have eyes as sense organs, tentacles as sense organs, palps like maxillary palps, labial palps as sense organs, anal cerci acts as sense organs. When it comes to the reproduction, sexes are separate. There is sexual dimorphism. Reproduction is sexual reproduction. Fertilization is generally internal, usually internal. Development is direct or indirect. If it is direct, there is no larva. If it is indirect, there is larva. For example, silk moth, it shows a larva called caterpillar. That is showing the indirect development. The examples can be classified like economically important insects. Apis, honeybee, bombyx, silkworm, laxifer, lac insect. The vectors, these are all also insects but mosquitoes. Anopheles is vector for a disease called malaria. Culex is a vector for a disease called filariasis, and Aedes acts as a vector for viral fevers like chikungunya, dengue and yellow fever. Locusta is also insect which is said to be gregarious pest. Common name is locust. Limulus, common name is king crab, and it is considered as a living fossil. So this is regarding the characters of Arthropoda. And the next phylum is Mollusca. Regarding Mollusca, the mollusks are organisms whose body is covered by the shells. But it's not like all mollusks' body is covered by the shells. Pila, snail is having shell. But when it comes to the octopus, it has no shell. But generally, the mollusks are said to be shelled organisms. These are aquatic in nature mostly, but terrestrial mollusks are also there. Organization triploblastic, organ system level. Coelom is present, but these are unsegmented organisms. There is no metamerism in this. And symmetry is bilateral symmetry. The body of these organisms is divided into three parts. like a head, visceral hump and muscular foot. The visceral hump is covered by a spongy skin called mantle. Mantle generally involved in the secretion of a shell. But between mantle and visceral hump there is a cavity. That cavity is called mantle cavity. Regarding digestion, complete gut is there, but in the buccal cavity, mouth, there is a structure called radula. Radula is said to be rasping organ. Respiration occurs through gills. Gills are present in the mantle cavity, feather-like. Gills are involved in both respiration and excretion. Circulation is open type. There is hemolymph. And when it comes to excretion, gills are involved in excretion, no doubt, but there are metanephridia that can perform excretion in this particular group. About reproduction, these are usually dioecious in nature, oviparous, that means egg laying, and with indirect development. The development includes the larval stages. The examples of this particular phylum includes Pila, the common name is apple snail, Pinctada, the common name is pearl oyster, Sepia, cuttlefish, Loligo, squid, Octopus, devilfish, Aplysia, sea hare, Dentalium, tusk shell, and Chaetopleura, the common name is a chiton. So with this, the general characters which are important for NEET regarding Mollusca is completed. The next phylum is Echinodermata. These organisms are spiny skinned organisms. They have calcareous ossicles as endoskeleton. So the name Echinodermata because of these features. See, calcareous ossicles as endoskeleton in Echinodermata. But when we see the Arthropoda, the characteristic feature of Arthropoda is having a chitinous exoskeleton. But if you see the Mollusca, the shell in Mollusca is calcareous. If you see some Cnidarians like Meandrina, they are having a coral made up of calcium carbonate. The echinoderms are having calcareous ossicles and these are spiny skinned organisms. The organization is these are triploblastic organ system level organisms. Coelom is present, enterocoelom. Symmetry is these are having bilateral symmetry during their embryonic stage, having a radial symmetry in the adult stage. All are marine in nature. The digestive system of these organisms is complete with mouth on the lower side, ventral side, and anus on the upper side, dorsal side. These organisms are having a most distinctive feature. The distinctive feature of echinoderms is the presence of water vascular system. The water vascular system is helping in locomotion, capture and transport of food and respiration. Excretory system is absent in echinoderms. This is very, very important. Regarding the reproduction, sexes are separate. That means unisexual. We can call it as dioecious. Fertilization is external and development is indirect with a free swimming larva. So these are the features of echinoderms, important features related to the phylum Echinodermata. Examples of Echinodermata includes Asterias starfish, Echinus sea urchin, Antedon sea lily, Cucumeria sea cucumber, and Ophiura brittle star. So this is the example which is Asterias starfish. The next phylum is Hemichordata. Name Hemichordata is derived. Hemi means half chordates. These are having a rudimentary structure in the collar region of its body known as a stomochord that is similar to notochord, but it is not notochord. So initially they thought it is notochord, hence this phylum Hemichordata was kept under the phylum Chordata as subphylum. But later they have realized and they have separated Hemichordata as a separate phylum. These organisms are exclusively marine. Organization is triploblastic and organ system level. Bilateral symmetry is present. Coelom is enterocoelom. Next, when it comes to the body organization of hemichordates, the body of hemichordates is divided into three components like proboscis, collar and trunk. The collar region is having the rudimentary stomochord. Digestive tract is complete. Respiration occurs through pharyngeal gill slits. Presence of pharyngeal gill slits is a chordate character of this non-chordate called hemichordates. Circulation is open type. Excretion occurs through a particular part known as proboscis gland. And regarding reproduction, these are unisexual in nature. That means dioecious. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is external and development is indirect. Examples of this phylum includes Belenoglossus and Saccoglossus, commonly known as acorn worms. So, till this hemichordata, starting from Porifera, these are all non-chordates. Let's get into the next topic, the phylum Chordata. These chordates are having four fundamental characteristics. The first one is dorsal notochord derived from mesoderm. Second one is dorsal hollow nerve cord. The third is pharyngeal gill slits, and fourth is postanal tail. So, when you see the difference between non-chordates and chordates, notochord is present in chordates whereas it is absent in non-chordates. Dorsal hollow nerve cord is the feature of chordates, which is nothing but CNS, but in non-chordates, the nerve cord ventral, double, solid and ganglionated. Pharyngeal gill slits generally present in chordates. In non-chordates, there are few exceptions, but generally the pharyngeal gill slits are absent in non-chordates. Postanal tail is present in chordates. It is absent in non-chordates. Heart, if it is present, it is ventral in chordates, dorsal in non-chordates. So, these are the differences. Along with these features, the habitat of chordates, the name chordata because of presence of notochord. Habitat is both terrestrial and aquatic. Triploblastic in nature, organ system level of organization is present in chordates. Bilateral symmetry. Type of circulation is closed type. Next, the coelom is enterocoelom. So, these are the general features related to the chordata. The chordata is classified, the phylum chordata is classified into three subphyla: Urochordata, Cephalochordata, Vertebrata. Urochordata and Cephalochordata together called protochordates. These are also called acraniates, the chordates without cranium. These are also called invertebrate chordates, the chordates without vertebral column. And Uro and Cephalochordata, these are exclusively marine in nature. The name Urochordata is derived due to the presence of notochord only in larval tail. See, larval tail. So, the type of development is indirect in urochordates. The examples of urochordates includes Acidia, Salpa and Doliolum. When it comes to Cephalochordata, the name Cephalochordata is derived because of notochord extending from head to tail. And in these cephalochordates, notochord is persistent throughout life. Not only notochord, other fundamental chordate characters are also persistent in the adult, hence the cephalochordates are said to be typical chordates. The cephalochordates includes the organisms like lancelets. Lancelets perform excretion with the help of protonephridia or flame cells. Examples of cephalochordata includes Amphioxus or also known as lancelet, also called Branchiostoma. Let's come to the third subphylum Vertebrata. The name Vertebrata is due to the presence of vertebral column. Notochord is present in the embryonic stage of vertebrates, but in adults it is replaced by vertebral column. Vertebral column is made up of either bone or cartilage. Other general features of vertebrates includes they possess heart which is located on the ventral side and muscular in nature. The heart chambers 2 or 3 or 4 in different members of the group Vertebrata. Excretion is performed with the help of kidneys. Kidneys are involved not only in excretion, they are also involved in osmoregulation. And these organisms generally possess paired fins or paired limbs. The general classification of a subphylum Vertebrata, it is divided into two divisions, Aegnatha and Gnathostomata. Aegnatha means the vertebrates that are jawless. Gnathostomata means the vertebrates that possess jaws. Under Aegnatha, there is a class called Cyclostomata. The Cyclostomata, this is the living class under Aegnatha. Next, under Gnathostomata, there are two superclasses. One is Pisces and second one is Tetrapoda. Under Pisces, there are two classes like chondrichthyes and osteichthyes. Under Tetrapoda superclass, there are classes that includes amphibia, reptilia, aves and mammalia. So from this chart, we can draw a statement like Pisces are the first jawed vertebrates. The first tetrapod class is amphibia. So Tetrapoda means, tetra means 4, poda means limbs. 2 pairs of limbs generally present. Under the subphylum Vertebrata, let's discuss about the classes. The first class is Cyclostomata. It is under Ignatha. Cyclostomata, the name Cyclostomata is derived due to the presence of sucking and circular mouth, but it is without jaws. That is point number 1. All the living members of Cyclostomata are ectoparasites. Regarding the body organization, cylindrical body is there. The body is divided of scales. The body is divided of paired fins. There are unpaired fins present. The cranium and vertebral column is cartilaginous. Respiration occurs through the gills. The number of gills is nearly 6 to 15 pairs of pharyngeal gill slits. Circulation is of closed type. Next, when it comes to the excretion, excretion is performed with the help of kidneys. The special feature regarding the members of Cyclostomata, for example, lamprey, petromyzon. The lamprey during breeding season, for spanning, it will migrate from marine water to the fresh water. The lamprey will lay the eggs in fresh water. The lamprey will die in the fresh water. Those eggs will become larvae in the fresh water. Larvae undergo metamorphosis in fresh water. After metamorphosis, they'll come back to marine water. See, they use the language larvae undergo metamorphosis. As they use the larvae, we can say petromyzon is showing the indirect development. The examples of this class Cyclostomata includes petromyzon, lamprey and myxine hagfish. So hagfish is not a fish, but commonly it can be known as cyclostomes or jawless fishes. So this is the petromyzon picture. Let's come to the superclass Pisces. The common features for the Pisces are having streamlined body. They are poikilothermous in nature. That means they cannot maintain the constant body temperature. Heart is having 2 chambers and it shows single circulation. That means heart receives the blood from body parts, then pump the blood to the gills. From gills, blood directly goes to body parts. This is called single circulation. Excretion is through the kidneys. It has 2 classes depending on the type of endoskeleton present, chondrichthyes thighs and ostichthyes thighs. Regarding the characters and the differences between the chondrichthyes thighs and ostichthyes thighs includes, chondrichthyes thighs are marine organisms, exclusively marine. When it comes to the bony fishes, they are both marine and freshwater in nature. The endoskeleton is cartilaginous in chondrichthyes thighs. In ostichthyes thighs, there is bony endoskeleton. The scales regarding the chondrichthyes thighs fishes, there are placoid scales in chondrichthyes thighs. The scales, they may be cycloid or ctenoid in ostichthyes thighs. One peculiar feature regarding the chondrichthyes thighs is, it is having vertebral column, but still notochord is persistent in the members of chondrichthyes thighs. Mouth is ventral in chondrichthyes thighs. The teeth are modified placoid scales and backwardly projected, and the chondrichthyes thighs fishes are highly predaceous in nature. When it comes to the bony fishes, mouth is terminal. Here the mouth is ventral in chondrichthyes thighs, the mouth is terminal in ostichthyes thighs. The gills are not covered by operculum in chondrichthyes thighs, whereas operculum is present in ostichthyes thighs. Air bladder is absent in chondrichthyes thighs. That is the reason why cartilaginous fishes, they have to swim constantly to avoid sinking. But air bladder is present in ostichthyes thighs. It acts as a hydrostatic organ. Regarding the excretion, the chondrichthyes thighs fishes excrete urea. They are ureotelic in nature in general, and bony fishes are ammonotelic in nature. In chondrichthyes thighs fishes, the pelvic fins are modified to form a specialized structures called claspers. Claspers are intromittent organs. The claspers are absent in bony fishes. As they are the chondrichthyes thighs fishes are having intromittent organs, the type of fertilization in chondrichthyes is internal, but in osteichthyes it is external. Mostly the chondrichthyes fishes are viviparous in nature. They give birth to young ones. But the osteichthyes fishes are oviparous. The development in both osteichthyes and chondrichthyes is direct development. Next, the organisms that are coming under chondrichthyes includes Scoliodon dogfish, Pristis sawfish, Carcharodon great white shark, Trigon. Trigon is called stingray. It has poisonous sting. And torpedo is called electric ray. It consists of electric organs. The examples of osteichthyes includes Exocetus, flying fish, Hippocampus, seahorse. They come under marine bony fishes. Cutla, Clarius, and Labio, they come under freshwater bony fishes. The aquarium fishes of osteichthyes includes betta, fighting fish, and Pterophyllum, angelfish. So the next class is amphibia. The name amphibia is due to the dual mode of life. Most of them have two pairs of limbs because it is under Tetrapoda. But few organisms, they don't have limbs. Ichthyophis is the best example for the limbless amphibian. Body has divisions like head and trunk, but tail may be present in some. Example for that organism having tail is Salamandra. Regarding their skin, the skin is moist without any scales. Eyes are having eyelids. Tympanum, a membrane, acts as ear here. Tympanum represents ear. There is a special part called cloaca present in this particular group, into which alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tracts open. So, cloaca is the common passage for the feces, common passage for the gametes, common passage for the urine. This is the important point. Next, respiration in these organisms. It is performed with the help of gills, with the help of skin, with the help of lungs. Lungs generally help in terrestrial mode of respiration, gills in aquatic mode, skin helps in respiration both on land and in water. Circulation is of closed type. It consists of three-chambered heart, which is muscular and located on the ventral side of the body. The three chambers includes two atria and one ventricle. They shows incomplete double circulation. Excretion through the kidneys. Next, regarding their reproduction, sexes are separate. Fertilization is external. It generally occurs in the water. Development is indirect with larvae. The examples of this amphibia includes Buffo, toad, Rana, frog, Hyla, tree frog, Salamandra, salamander, and Ichthyophis, limbless amphibian. Remember, tympanum represents ear. Skin is moist with mucous glands, without scales in general. The next class is reptilia. The name reptilia is referred to their creeping or crawling mode of locomotion. Body is covered by dry and cornified skin without any glands. But the skin consists of epidermal scales or scutes. They do not have any external openings. Here also tympanum represents ear. About their respiration. Respiration is performed with the help of lungs, whether it is aquatic or terrestrial, but these organisms are mostly terrestrial. Not all are terrestrial, mostly terrestrial, but whether it is terrestrial or aquatic, they respire through lungs, pulmonary mode of respiration. Circulation is closed type. Generally, they consist of three-chambered heart with two atria and one ventricle, but except crocodiles. Crocodiles and alligators are having four-chambered heart. When they are having three-chambered heart, they shows incomplete double circulation. With the four-chambered heart, they shows complete double circulation. Excretion through kidneys, and these are mostly uricotelic in nature. They excrete uric acid as their main excretory product. The special feature regarding this particular group, especially the snakes and lizards, they shed their scales as skin cast. They shows a skin casting. Sexual reproduction, sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. These are mostly oviparous. They lay eggs, that too they lay shelled eggs. They are called as cleidoic eggs. Development has no larva, hence it is said to be direct development. Examples of this particular class includes Chelone, turtle. Testudo, tortoise. Generally this is terrestrial, tortoise is, and chelone is marine in nature. Chameleon, tree lizard. Calotes, garden lizard. Crocodilus, crocodile. Alligator, alligator. Hemidactylus, which is said to be wall lizard. And the poisonous snakes includes Naza, cobra, Bungarus, krait, and Vipera, viper. Python also come under this, but that is not poisonous. The next class is aves. The aves possess feathers and they possess a beak for the collection of food. Generally, the birds don't have teeth. The forelimbs are modified into wings. See, wings are present both in flight and flightless birds. Both the flight birds are having wings, flightless birds are also having wings, both are having feathers. But feathers are having interlocking mechanism in flight birds. Forelimbs are modified to wings. And what about the hind limbs? Hind limbs are generally have scales and they are modified for different functions like walking, swimming, or clasping the tree branches. Skin is dry without glands except a gland called preen gland, which is present at the base of the tail. Endoskeleton is fully ossified, that is made up of a bone, and the long bones are hollow with air cavities. They are said to be pneumatic bones. Not all bones are pneumatic, long bones are pneumatic. The digestive tract of these organisms is having two additional chambers, crop and gizzard. Crop is glandular in nature and gizzard is muscular in nature. Respiration occurs through the lungs. They are provided with air sacs. Circulation is closed type with four-chambered heart. Hence, they show a complete double circulation. Excretion through kidney and the main excretory product is uric acid. When it comes to the reproduction, sexes are separate. These are mostly oviparous. Fertilization is internal, development is direct. And these organisms are homeothermous in nature. They maintain a constant body temperature. Examples of this particular group includes Corvus, crow, Columba, pigeon, Psittacula, parrot, Struthio, ostrich, which is a flightless bird, Pavo, peacock, Aptenodytes, penguin, which is also a flightless bird, and Neophron, vulture. The last class under this is class Mammalia. See, the mammals are also homeothermous in nature. Their homeothermous nature favored them to live in different kinds of habitats because they adapted to live in forests, grasslands, mountains, polar ice caps, etc., etc. The most unique feature of mammals is presence of mammary glands. All the mammals possess mammary glands. Next, other features includes, see, when it comes to the skin of mammals, the skin of mammals possess hair. The skin also consists of sweat glands and sebaceous glands. They are unique for mammals. They possess heterodontic dentition. That means each set of the teeth is having different types. That is also unique in mammals. Respiration occurs through lungs. Whether it is an aquatic mammal or terrestrial mammal, they respire through lungs only. That means some mammals are adapted to live in terrestrial habitat. Some mammals are adapted to live in aquatic habitat. The examples of the aquatic mammals includes dolphins, whales, seals, sea cows. Circulation is closed type with four-chambered heart, shows complete double circulation. Excretion with the kidneys. Mostly the mammals are ureotelic in nature. They excrete urea as their main excretory product. Regarding the nervous control of the mammals, they are having a unique feature called 4 optic lobes in their midbrain. Sexes are separate in mammals. Fertilization is internal. Development is direct in nature. There is no larva. But in the development, see, mostly the mammals are viviparous in nature, but some mammals are oviparous. The example for the oviparous mammals includes platypus. Scientific name is Ornithorhynchus. Echidna, spiny anteater. These two are oviparous and remaining mammals are viviparous in nature. And in the viviparous mammals, the unborn young is protected inside the uterus. and that most of these mammals, unborn young, will get the nourishment from the mother through a particular structural and functional connection called placenta. The examples of mammals includes Ornithorhynchus platypus, oviparous in nature. Of course, we can add Echidna, Spiny Anthieta, that is also oviparous. Viviparous mammals, Macropus, kangaroo, Pteropus, flying fox. See, this is adapted for flight, which is nothing but bat. Camelus, camel, Macaca, monkey, Rattus, rat, Canis, dog, Felis, cat, Elephas, elephant, Equus, horse, Delphinus, common dolphin, Balanoptera, blue whale, Panthera tigris, tiger, Panthera leo, lion. And there is a tabular column at the end of Animal Kingdom in the NCERT textbook. Thoroughly follow that tabular column. So, few important features from the tabular column I just want to tell you. In the tabular column, they have mentioned like Porifera has no gut, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, Platy are having incomplete gut. One more common feature is respiratory system starts from Arthropoda, it is given in the tabular column. Circulatory system starts from Annelida. So, I want you to underline those points from the tabular column. Next, when it comes to the segmentation, Annelida, Arthropoda, Chordata shows segmentation, which is nothing but metamerism. The other phyla are said to be unsegmented in nature. So, these are the important points I want you to go through the tabular column. With this, I have completed the in detail quick revision of the chapter Animal Kingdom. Thank you.